They said he wasn't ready. They said Brock Lesnar was untouchable. They said no one on that roster had the guts, the size, the power to look the beast incarnate dead in his eyes and say I accept. And for weeks we watched grown men hide backstage while Brock Lesnar stood in the middle of that ring with a microphone and dared anyone to show up. Legends ducked it. Main eventers avoided it. Hall of Famers couldn't be bothered. But on March 16, 2026, on Monday Night Raw, one man walked through that curtain, marched down that ramp, stepped into that ring, hit Brock Lesnar with the fall from grace and didn't flinch. Not once. Oba Femi, the ruler. And if you don't think this is the most seismic moment in WWE in years, then you need to drop everything you're doing right now because this video is going to change your mind. Completely. Segment 1 setting the stage. Who is Oba Femi? Let's talk about this man. Because if you've been sleeping on Oba Femi, I need you to understand the rest of the wrestling world is wide awake. Isaac Odugbison. Born in Lagos, Nigeria, on April 22, 1998. A former shot putter. A student of art at the University of Lagos. A man who signed with WWE in 2021 through the NIL program, meaning he came into this business as a literal college athlete and in less than 5 years has become arguably the most terrifying physical presence in all of professional wrestling. We're talking about a 6 feet 6 inches, 310-pound human being who moves like a cruiserweight. A man who won the NXT Men's Breakout Tournament in 2023. A man who became a 2-time NXT champion. A man who held that NXT title for 263 days in his first reign before losing it, and then came right back and reclaimed it at NXT Deadline. And before he left NXT, before he even fully transitioned to the main roster, he made his main roster debut against undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes at Saturday night's main event in December 2025. The match ended in a no contest because of Drew McIntyre's interference, but the message was crystal clear: Oba Femi is not here to play games. Then at the Royal Rumble on January 31, 2026, he entered as the #1 entrant, the first man in the match. He eliminated 5 competitors. 5. And the only man to put him out? Brock Lesnar. Which means that from the very second Oba Femi set foot in that Rumble, the collision course between him and the Beast was already written. Let me say this loudly for the people in the back who still aren't paying attention: Oba Femi is not a prospect anymore. He is not a future star. He is not someone to watch in 5 years. He is right now. He is the most complete big man in professional wrestling today, and I will debate anyone in the comments on that. Drop your take below, I want to hear it. Segment 2 Brock's Open Challenge, the setup nobody expected. Now let's rewind. Because to understand just how massive this WrestleMania moment is, you need to understand the chaos that surrounded it. On February 23, 2026, Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman by his side issued an open challenge for WrestleMania 42. Standing in the ring at Raw, the Beast essentially told the entire roster, I'm going to be at the grandest stage of them all. Who's man enough to stand across from me? And week after week nothing. The roster went quiet. And this is where it gets infuriating, people. Because we had weeks of speculation. Gunther was rumored. Seth Rollins was rumored. LA Knight was discussed. Braun Breaker, who was originally penciled in for this spot before a hernia injury in early February took him off the board, was the prime candidate before his body betrayed him. The build-up was a mess. The booking felt uncertain, and WWE fans were getting frustrated because nobody had the courage to step up and answer the call. Meanwhile, backstage reports and wrestling insiders like Mike Johnson at PW Insider were quietly pointing to one name: Oba Femi. The consensus among WWE sources was that Femi was the direction, but nobody knew when, nobody knew how, and nobody could have predicted exactly what happened on the March 16th episode of Raw. Because let me tell you, WWE delivered on this one, and that doesn't always happen. So when it does, we celebrate it. Segment 3 The moment, March 16, 2026 Raw goes nuclear. Okay, here we go. This is the part you came for. This is the moment that sent the internet into an absolute frenzy. This is the moment that has the wrestling world buzzing and your timeline exploding, and if it hasn't yet, you need to share this video right now so everyone knows what just happened. Paul Heyman brought Brock Lesnar out onto Monday Night Raw. The challenge was still open. The tension was there. And then the ruler, the pride of Africa, Oba Femi emerged. He didn't ease into it. He didn't cut a long promo. He didn't shake Brock's hand and bow like some kind of honor ceremony. No. Oba Femi marched down that ramp with the energy of a man who has been waiting for this moment his entire life, and he dropped Brock Lesnar with the fall from grace. Think about that. This is Brock Lesnar, the Beast incarnate. A man who has headlined WrestleMania multiple times. A man who conquered The Undertaker's streak. A man who has eaten suplexes and F5s and made careers out of destroying everything in his path. And Oba Femi walked in and dropped him. First contact. Statement made. WWE itself tweeted, "The ruler is here," and just dropped Brock Lesnar. They couldn't contain it. And then WWE made it official later in the show. Brock Lesnar vs. Oba Femi is confirmed for WrestleMania 42. WrestleMania 42. 2 nights. April 18th and 19th, Allegiant Stadium in Paradise, Nevada. Las Vegas, baby. The grandest stage of them all. And the ruler will be there to take his throne. I need you to comment right now, where were you when Oba Femi dropped Brock Lesnar? Were you watching live? Did you see the clip on Twitter at midnight? Did a friend send it to you in a group chat? Tell me in the comments. Let's build this community reaction right now. Segment 4: Why this match is bigger than people realize. Now here's where I need to slow down and explain to you why this isn't just a cool moment. This is a generational shift in WWE's hierarchy. Brock Lesnar has been the measuring stick for dominant big man in WWE for over 2 decades. When WWE wants to establish someone as a true monster, they feed them Brock where they have Brock feed on them. That's the transaction. We saw it with Roman Reigns. We saw it with Bobby Lashley. We saw it with Drew McIntyre. The Lesnar match is a coronation. It is a rite of passage. And now Oba Femi gets that moment at WrestleMania, not just on any show, the show. But here's what makes this different from every other Brock Lesnar WrestleMania opponent. Oba Femi is 27 years old. He has been wrestling professionally for less than 5 years. He hasn't even scratched the surface of his potential. The wrestling community at Cage Match rated him among the elite. Fans are calling him a once-in-a-generation talent. One fan wrote, and I'm paraphrasing here, that he reminds them of a 2003 Brock Lesnar in terms of sheer physical dominance at such an early stage of his career. And that comparison? It is haunting. Because if Oba Femi is the new Brock Lesnar, the next generational monster, then what happens when the old Brock Lesnar has to look across the ring at his own replacement? That is the story, people. That is the narrative that should send chills down your spine. This isn't just a big man match. This is the torch. This is the handoff. This is WWE saying out loud, in Las Vegas, in front of 65,000 people, that Oba Femi is the future of physical dominance in professional wrestling. And if Femi wins? If the ruler walks out of Allegiant Stadium having beaten the Beast incarnate at WrestleMania? His ceiling becomes limitless. We're talking World Heavyweight Championship. We're talking WrestleMania main events. We're talking about the possibility, very seriously, very realistically, of him becoming the first African-born WrestleMania main eventer in history. Think about what that means. The cultural weight of that moment. The global impact of it. The WWE has a massively growing fan base across Africa, and having Oba Femi, born in Lagos, raised to be a competitor, molded into a once-in-a-generation performer main eventing WrestleMania someday? That is not a pipe dream. That is a trajectory. And it starts right here. Right now. At WrestleMania 42. Segment 5: The Ripple Effect, what this means for the rest of the card. Now let's talk about the chess pieces moving behind the scenes. Because Oba Femi answering the challenge doesn't just affect the Lesnar match, it reshapes the entire WrestleMania 42 card. Braun Breaker. The man who was supposed to answer this challenge before his hernia injury in February took him out. Reports suggest that WWE had been using Lesnar's open challenge as a holding pattern, waiting to see if Breaker could return in time. Oba Femi stepping up suggests one of two things: either WWE got tired of waiting and made the call, or Breaker's return timeline got pushed back far enough that they had to pivot. But here's where it gets interesting with Femi taking the Lesnar spot. What does that mean for Seth Rollins? Reports had Rollins as the backup plan for Lesnar if Braun couldn't make it. But now Braun vs. Seth, which is the match this whole storyline has been pointing toward, might still be on the table if Breaker returns in time. On the same March 16th Raw, Logan Paul and Austin Theory approached Paul Heyman looking to handle Rollins, which seemingly sets up a tag title clash between Logan and Theory versus the Usos, freeing up both Seth and Braun for each other. The WrestleMania 42 card is shaping up to be enormous. CM Punk vs. Roman Reigns in what promises to be the defining chapter of Punk's current run. Rollins vs. Breaker if the injury allows it. And now Oba Femi vs. Brock Lesnar, a match that is going to be a physical spectacle unlike anything we've seen at Mania in years. Las Vegas is going to be electric. And Oba Femi is going to be right in the middle of it all. Segment 6: The Heat. Is anyone angry about this? Now, and I won't shy away from this because I know some of you feel that there is a vocal section of the wrestling community that isn't thrilled about Femi getting this spot. Some people wanted Stone Cold Steve Austin. Some wanted Gunther. Some wanted Seth Rollins to be the guy. There's even a Sportskeeda article out right now listing 3 WWE stars who should have answered the challenge instead of Oba Femi. And I want to speak to that crowd directly for a second. Are you seriously telling me with a straight face that you'd rather see a part-time legend who probably won't even bump properly get this spot over a 27-year-old generational talent who is going to be in this company for the next 20 years? Are you seriously prioritizing nostalgia over the future? Because if you are, and I'm saying this with love, you are part of the problem with WWE booking discourse. The company has a golden asset in Oba Femi, and the fact that they're giving him Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania is not a disappointment. It is the correct decision. Now if you disagree, I want you to tell me why in the comments. Drop your take. Be specific. Because I am ready to have this conversation all day. This channel exists for debate. This channel exists for passion. And if you're not passionate enough about wrestling to argue about it in the comments section, then what are we even doing here? Outro call to action. Let me bring it home. Oba Femi, the ruler, the pride of Africa, walked into Monday Night Raw on March 16, 2026, looked the most physically dominant force in WWE history in the face, knocked him down with the fall from grace, and accepted his open challenge for WrestleMania 42. This moment is historic. This match is going to be talked about for years, and the result of it could change the entire trajectory of WWE's future. We are 6 weeks away from WrestleMania 42. 6 weeks. And I will be covering every development, every promo, every confrontation, every training video, every backstage report leading up to April 18th and 19th in Las Vegas right here on Ring Rumble 1. So if you are not subscribed yet, what is wrong with you? Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you don't miss a single video. Like this video if you believe Oba Femi is going to destroy Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And drop a comment telling me, do you think the ruler wins? Do you think Brock pulls out the veteran victory? Do you think this is just the beginning of something massive for Oba Femi? And most importantly, share this video. Send it to every wrestling fan you know. Because this is the beginning of something historic, and they need to be part of this conversation. I'm Ring Rumble 1, and the ruler's reign? It starts at WrestleMania.